links to my YouTube live. So they're going to see us right here live. So that's cool.
Sweet. Right on.
Okay, cool. So here we got Peter live, and welcome everybody. I hope you guys get some solid value out of this. We got Peter Roberts. Peter, how much did you do? You put a video the other day. How much did you do in 3 months on the phone?
Yeah, the last 3 months, not including this month, I did 206,000 in the last three
Wow,
months. Yeah, and final
wow,
expense.
that's awesome. Two hundred
Yeah,
6,000.
$206,000. Yeah,
Good for you, bro.
yeah, that
Sweet.
was good.
So let's do this. Let's give people some a little bit of tips here. What if someone's just getting into telesales or they're struggling? Like bring people through step by step. Like what's number one, the most important thing you think that people have to get down to be successful at this?
Yeah, I think it comes down to mindset. Like the first beginner stage, I mean, it's tough. Like the one thing that I like to tell a lot of like people that are like trying to learn from me is like just realize that your cell phone can like change your life. So just learning that like I came into this business with like no really limiting beliefs. So that's why I never even knew that you couldn't write 87,000 in a month because I just never knew that was even not a thing.
Yeah.
But I just try to think about efficiency and like for 2 weeks I didn't make one sale when I first got started. I think I told you that, but it's just like a lot of people could just quit. It's a pretty tough business, but once you figure out the system, when you kind of have routines, systems in place, you can kind of just duplicate and do, continue the same process and you'll get good results. But it comes on the mindset. People just like kind of think that they're going to make quick money in this business, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of transparency that you might not think, but it just you have to work for it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It takes time. I mean, you got to a place really fast that most people may never get to be honest. But it's pretty exceptional, man. And so you said with systems and routines. So kind of walk down like the routine and what that means for you. Like for anybody here struggling to just kind of get focused on a daily routine, what's that look like? And by the way, if anybody's watching this, just drop a question because we're just going to be talking about some topics here. But drop any questions that you need to in the comments box, and then Peter is there to help answer them and handle them any way you need to. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, guys.
just,
Yeah, yeah. I just want to be transparent. One thing that I wish I knew, like when I first got started, is like I wish I could go to someone. So just use me and like Justin as like a resource. We're here to like give you the real stuff because I realize a lot of people in this business don't want to share their secrets, and Justin is here just to give you the real stuff, man. And I'm here to give you. I don't want to recruit you. I just want to help you. So just share your knowledge and like share what you're struggling with. But routine is like when I first got started. Now things are a little bit different as I'm trying to build out systems and like have more people that I'm looking after and trying a lot of different vehicles, but the one thing is I sell only final expense, and there's a lot of different products. There's IULs out there. There's mortgage protection. There's healthcare products. But I just told myself I'm going to just become the best in final expense. So Alex Hormozy talks about this. Find one product, one person to sell to, and one way to market to them. And I just thought about that. So the day starts at like 5:30, 5:20. I get up. I'm at the gym at 6 a.m. 6 to 7 is my gym time, and the rest from 7:30, basically throughout the rest of the day till 8 at night, is calling, working, doing the hard work, man. Calling a lot of people, and then thankfully I got to a place in my business now where I built like good systems where I can get replicatable results, but just putting in a lot of time on the phone is all I focused on.
okay, cool. And what does a lot of time on the phone mean? Like, what
Yeah,
do you mean
like
by like
people,
how much time?
yeah, like 10 hours like calling, like every like eight. Some if you're calling at 8 o'clock, then you can call it at 8 p.m. I start at 8 o'clock dialing, so by 8 to 12, I'm usually one or two deals in, and then you can kind of take an hour off to do admin stuff, and then from 1 o'clock to 7 or 1 o'clock to 8, you can keep calling people. Like a lot of people get into this business, they're like, oh, I made $1,000, like I'm done for the day. I made my first deal. Like you keep going and doing this Saturday and Sunday. Like Sundays, yes, people will buy life insurance on
Oh yeah,
Sunday.
dude, for sure.
hmm
How many days a week do you work?
Dude, every day, every day. Like Sundays, I'll have like maybe like 3, 4 hours of just getting stuff together, but at least 6 days, 12-hour days every day.
That's awesome, man. Cool. So you just
Yeah.
bang out calls from 8 to 8, right?
Yeah, basically 8 to 8. I mean, sometimes around like 7. Honestly, if I at least hit like 2 to 3 deals, like I want to at least make like 1,500 AP, 2,000 AP in the day. So if I can hit that, then maybe I'll give myself an hour break. But when I first got rolling, it was literally calling as much as I could all day, every day.
It's fun too, guys. Like I think sometimes we look at like, okay, we want to reward ourselves with time off after we make a sale or something, but once you make a sale, don't do that. Just keep working, just keep doing your thing, because like it's like, I don't know. For me, that's how it is. Success just makes me want to do more. So I got a question here. Lillian is wondering, how many leads does she need to make 10K a week, and do you dial your leads daily? So how many leads to sell 10K a week? So if you're like, I want to hit 10K this week, how many leads do you think you're gonna need?
Well, I would think about like number one is like type of lead that you're running. So I've built out like I'm just running Facebook and YouTube self-generated leads. So I'm getting 20 to 30 leads per day is all I need. If you're doing like age leads, you're going to need a lot more. So the
Yep.
quality is important. Leads are a lead, but how fresh they are will determine your metric on how much you actually need to call, you know, things like that. But if you're getting pretty fresh leads, I would say you need at least 30 leads a day to do 10,000 a week.
Cool. So that's like
Um,
150 leads a week. And Lillian, real quick
mhm,
here, but what he's saying there is, like, he's buying 30 leads a day, but he's not paying $25 a lead, right? So you got to self-generate leads, and
mhm,
Peter's invests a lot of money to learn how to do that. So you can email him
mhm.
or myself if you want to learn how to do that. But that's where it's like, so if you're saying 30 and it's like, wow, $750 a day, no, that's not that. But 30 leads a day, you're saying to hit that in a week.
Yeah. Yeah, you just need to have enough where you wake up in the morning excited to call people. I think a lot
Yeah.
of traction, like for me, is like if I don't have new leads tomorrow to call, then like it's a whole different game. I'm like kind of scared. Like I don't feel like I can have as much momentum. When you have a constant flow of leads coming in, when you're not worried about that lead bill coming out, then you have 20, 30 leads, or you have enough, whatever your enough is, where you just feel like, all right, I have enough, then you can start getting the results that you want. Um,
Yeah. That's so when I started, I worked with Jeremy too, and he helped me set up my Facebook
mhm.
campaigns. And I remember when the first night I ran them, I went to bed and I woke up and it was like boom, 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 boom. I saw all the leads. I was so pumped. It was like,
Yeah.
did you get that same feeling, that rush when you had all the leads coming in? You were like, oh my
hmm
god.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's literally so many people that need life insurance, which is cool about this
Yeah.
business. It's like it's a different game when you can start controlling a little bit of that aspect. I agree.
Yeah, for sure. And Lillian, she asked if he dials his leads daily. We answered that. He said he dials
hmm
every day. I mean, he calls for 12 hours a day,
hmm
6 days a week. Now, do you dial only, or do you use text, email, or voicemails? How do you integrate texting, emailing, and voicemail
Yeah.
into your prospects?
Okay. Yeah. So I don't use any voicemail. I mean, every once in a while. So I built out the system where I now have self-generated appointments. So my business this month looks completely different than it was the last few months. I've really just built out a lot of systems, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing. So I use the CRM that I use. All CRMs are good. I use Ringy personally for me. So when a lead comes into my system, when I get a new fresh lead, they go directly into my CRM, and then the CRM shoots them an initial text message. The message says something like, hey, Justin, I saw that you recently filled out the request for the Facebook. Is it okay if I verify that you are eligible for the coverage?
Mm-hmm.
They say yes, and I try to like do a lot through text now. So just text them, build the rapport, ask them medical questions, ask if they're a smoker, and like build a lot of interest over the text. And then
Yep.
I'm like, hey, can I give you a call real quick? And they're like, sure. I'll send them a quick selfie. Like I have a selfie on my phone. I'll send them a quick picture of myself before I call them, just a little quick gem. And they're like, oh, I saw your picture. And then it's so chill because they've already like feel like they know you a bit. And then I'll call them.
Yeah, I
But
love that.
anytime I don't have like, text coming in, the deal that I closed yesterday was like a 7-day-old lead because I have drip campaigns set up where it'll send them another text 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 12 days, 28 days down the road where I'm still engaging with them and not forgetting about them because you have to use technology to help give you leverage in the business, and that's what I focused on.
Yeah, 100%. Guys,
Mhm.
text your leads. Like I text my people too. Like I get or when I was doing just my self-generated stuff before our agency took over the lead gen for our agents, a good thing I'd find for a text, guys, if you want to generate an inbound phone call, is it appears you qualify for some additional discounts and benefits. Please call this number with application number like X, 432, so we can verify that you qualify for these. And it was like, for some reason when they were like, Oh man, I qualify for that. So just little things in drip campaigns, like once a day, guys, and every couple of days. But you have to make it SMS compliant, which is really easy to do. So
Hmm.
you can do that in your forms too, guys. So next question. How do you go about getting Facebook leads or leads from social media in general? Luis was wondering.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, guys, like I just focus on selling. So there's two things that you need to focus on when if you want to build like a large business. Number one, if you can master the skill of sales where I was at, I knew I can sell everyone. Second bottleneck was controlling my lead source. So personally, I didn't have the skill set, so I knew that. And something that Justin said to me, a brief line is like he always pays for things that if you don't know something, you can either try to do it yourself, go through the pain, or you can use your capital to just learn the skill. That's what
Hmm.
Justin does with all his like education. I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I just paid someone that has the track record, that knows how to market, that spent their whole life doing it. So then I can get their 15, 20 years of experience just by paying the money that I've earned. And
Yeah.
that trade off with leverage is so worth it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I forget who said it. It was some billionaire said it the other day on social media. He was like, was it? I think it was I don't know, but he said there's two ways to make money. No, he wasn't doing it. It's a guy who owns someone said something similar, but this guy owns a massive Medicare agency, and he said there's two ways to make money. You can invest time or invest money. If you don't have any money, you can invest time, but
Hmm.
if you have some money, you invest it. So he essentially
Hmm.
invested with a friend of ours named Jeremy to learn how to do this stuff. So he
Yeah.
generates them, and you can go through the trials of trying to learn it yourself, or you can pay someone who already knows what they're doing. So
Yeah. And I've been through that. I've been through that. Like a lot of my people are like, I'm gonna try it myself. I try it myself, and it's not the same. So I just, if anybody wants to connect with the guy that I use, just DM me or something. But just find people that are good. You have to find systems like people that have skills. Like when it comes to like if you want to recruit, like connect with people that like already know how to do that, or connect with people that already done what you wanted, and it
yeah,
just allows you to bridge that gap.
yeah, 100%, guys. You got to invest in yourself. You're
Yeah.
what you're learning. You're learning what people know, but you're also learning what they messed up on. So it's like let me pay you to avoid. You're paying to avoid mistakes, right? You pay to avoid having to do these things. That's essentially like that's what I did. I mean, with a lot of stuff that I know, and I can tell you've done the same. So
Hmm.
Lillian again says when you say, and anybody, if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. Okay, so anybody watching this, drop some questions in the chat. Lillian says, when you say invest in yourself, do you mean like the videos that Justin has? So I have videos, guys, that I've put out as walkthroughs, but there are more advanced courses where you get someone to just sit there with you and walk you through exactly like what you need to know. So got my demo with VanillaSoft on Monday. Nice, Jared. Good stuff. Visual I sit. Yeah, whatever. Visualize it. Oh, I see what you did there. Age leads. How many people out of 100 do you get to listen past just getting back with you about the state final expense? And how many scripting skills are really good? So, I mean, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
So you were calling leads that are a little older. Um, Out of 100,
Would it
what?
be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean everyone has their own objections. It's kind of a weird. So if I had 100 age leads, what I would do, I would be able to sell at least two for sure. If they haven't bought. So there's two things that you do is that you ask them like, were you able to get this taken care of, or are you still looking around? And if they got it taken care of, then I just do like a review with them. If they are still looking around, then it's someone that you could sell.
Exactly. And especially if you're calling age leads, though, it's a numbers thing. Like it's like, and that's where we say you can invest time or invest money. If you don't have the money to either or to figure out how to generate your own or pay for new leads, then you have to invest the time. And I've talked about that in a previous video where I was like, hey, you can call age leads and do okay, but you're going to put a lot more time into it for that return.
Yeah.
So Lillian, Cool Beans signed up for Ringy a couple months ago. Just use them to ring them and text them manually once they text you back. Yeah, but Lillian, you can set up automations too. So you probably don't want to YouTube set up Ringy automations.
Yeah, if you use Ringy, just shoot me a DM. It's free. Like that, I'm not gonna charge you for anything. You can have my same setup. Like you can just add me on Ringy, and you can have my same drip campaigns and everything if you want them.
Awesome. So send them a message there, guys.
Yeah,
They'll hook you up.
if you can see exact like messages I send, you can see the exact dispositions. Like you can have the same CRM as me, basically. I do it with people that like come in and they want to learn. Just simple.
Yeah, for sure. That's what it's all about. Those automations are really, really important because you're going to get people who you see that those texts come through 5, 6 texts later, they're like, yes, like you just say the right question or the right thing. And like, you never know what makes someone tick. So like on those campaigns, guys, you can say certain things and then all of a sudden something says they're like, yeah, boom, they bite. And I promise you, most of these people, a lot of these people have iPhones. And just because they don't answer their phone doesn't mean they don't see a text. So the follow-up before you even get them on the phone, that follow-up's huge. So how much money do you need when starting out? Dana, can you clarify that? What you mean by how much money do you need? Because that could mean how much money do you need to spend on buying leads, self-generating leads, like just if you could clarify that. Luis, it says, what's Ringy exactly?
Yeah, it's just a CRM where it's a dialer, so you can get cell phone numbers where you're calling. So I run multiple states, so you can call directly from there. You can also have your leads uploaded in there, so then you can text them there. It'll do their drip text messaging, and then you can also keep notes on them. So if I call someone and they tell me to call them back at 4 o'clock, right 4 o'clock, it's just instead of trying to do everything on your cell phone. I did that at first, but once you get more leads, you need to build the system, and it's worth $100.
Yeah, so it's a system, guys. You organize your leads. What's it, $100 a month?
$100 a month, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's nothing. I mean, one sale pays for itself.
hmm
So, okay, Dana, how much do you spend on leads so Dana, I see spend on leads. So you're talking about ad spend if you're self-generating them, or spend on leads buying them new. So Peter, what do you do? What type of lead do you prefer, and how has first, what type of leads do you prefer?
Yeah, I mean, I like any internet internet lead. The leads that I have, they'll have the beneficiary name, so like that's a game changer for me. Like internet lead, it's instant. Like they fill the form out, you get it, and you have their beneficiary name. So Facebook or YouTube is all I use.
Cool, awesome.
hmm
And
My spend, I spend around $1,200 to $1,300 a week on leads, and I have not closed less than 10,000 every week for like it's always been more. I helped 20 families last week off a $1,300 lead spend. So
awesome, that's insane, bro, crushing it. So
yeah,
that's a cost per acquisition. That's like a $60 cost per acquisition.
yeah, it was like 66 or something. Yeah,
That's awesome. Oh, you already did the math. Love that.
yeah, it's good. I mean, everything in this business is, and a lot of people, it's like we have to build a profitable business. Like we can submit a lot, but if you're not like in the green, and it's not gonna be sustainable. So that's what I think when it comes back to systems, like building systems in your business where you're extracting as much value as each lead because that lead is an expense, and just building that and making sure you're making money is important.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure you're profitable there. So guys, keep how many leads was that, Peter? Do you think?
Um, Let me see. Third about 20, let's say 25 a day. I mean, I don't know, somewhere around 25
So like
times.
125 leads, guys. 125 to
Yeah,
150 leads.
125 to 150. Yeah, somewhere around there.
And that volume is huge. That helps a lot, guys, because it helped, honestly, for me too. And I don't know if you can relate to this, Peter, but having that lead flow helped me get better at closing because I wasn't like, I was more assumptive with the sale because it's always like there's someone else for me to call who literally like
hmm
wants this. So it was easier for me to get better. That's just, I don't know,
Yeah, it's like
experience.
you'll know people who are wasting your time. You're like, all right, I don't even want to spend time with you because I know there's someone that probably wants to be helped. Yeah, well, scarcity, definitely.
Okay. Do you have a follow-up system to stay in touch with customers to prevent chargebacks? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So, yeah, one thing that I do. So I'm gonna drop a sales presentation tonight on my YouTube. I actually close someone live, but you'll hear everything that I say in my presentation is you're gonna hear from me every month. You're gonna hear that I'm gonna be here for you. Like you solidify that you're gonna be their agent, and like for the rest of their life. So the chargeback comes in the middle of the presentation. Like number one, if you can tell someone's not gonna really want to buy, then I really don't like the buy. I don't like to like force the sale. Like I really want good clients. Like
yeah, 100%.
there's a lot of people who are like, all right, I can probably sell them, but like I don't, it just doesn't sound right, you know? So finding like real solidified buyers. And then most importantly, something that I do is that I put a date of everybody's policy that it starts. And I remind myself every month when that policy starts. So they get a text message or they get a call from me every month, every client that I have. It sucks, but you have to do the boring work if you want the stuff to stay.
Yeah, that's huge. Definitely those reminders. And then, what had you're as earned through a lot of your carriers, right?
Correct. Yep. So like the last month and a half, 2 months has been as earned, except for one carrier. So my strategy is I write one application through a company, I don't know, Americo, that will pay my, because they'll front you the money in 24 hours. So that will pay for my lead bill. And then everything else is as earned through like Prosperity.
Awesome, dude. That's super cool.
Hmm.
This is a question for you. Then I'm going to get to the next question here. How do you handle it when you quote someone level? Say Prosperity, guys. If you don't know
Hmm.
what Prosperity is, it's a great telesales carrier. We sell them too. How do you handle it if you quote someone level and they get turned graded? How do you pivot that? How do you handle it? Because that's probably happened to you, right? Where you apply
Oh
level,
yeah.
they go graded, modified. It happens all the time. So how do you
Hmm.
save that sale without the client being like discouraged? You know?
Yeah, I'll just be like, number one, if it is graded, I'll be like, so if like someone goes level, I'm like, all right, well, let's try it. So I have multiple carriers. So if it's level, I always try to get them level coverage. If they don't get level coverage, then I just typically just pivot to AIG. So I'll look at like Prosperity, and then I'll go to like maybe Mutual, like Prosperity, and then America or Mutual. I'll try like one or two carriers to try to get them level. But if they get denied twice for level coverage, then I'm gonna be like, Justin, this is unfortunately it doesn't seem like they're gonna be give you like level coverage today. I wouldn't say level, like it doesn't seem like we're able to get you qualified, but fortunately, I'm going to do my best here to find an option for you. The next carrier that I did some research that would qualify you shows is AIG, and I'll just pivot them to AIG
Quick
because I'll
pivot.
know they'll get, yeah. So I'm like, since we couldn't, since there's nothing I can do for you here. I've tried my best. Like I will try three carriers at least, two to three carriers, and then if they have to, I'll just go to AIG because I know they'll get approved, and it's the same 2 year waiting period.
Awesome, cool. So what I used to
Yeah.
do is, and tell me how you handle it. So what I used to do is I would say, if they get decline level, I would just say they would say, hey, do you want to accept it? And I would say, hold on, I'm going to speak with the client for a minute, and then I would disconnect them from the line, and I would say, hey, you know what? Something must have come up with either the medical history, medications, whatever it may be. I'm going to try this company. I think we'll be able to get it work here for whatever reason they didn't want to qualify you today.
Hmm.
But I'm going to try with this carrier here. This is still a great company, A-rated. And you can prep them too, guys. You can say, hey, look, we're going to try with this one. If not, I got some other options. But how does that transition sound? Like at that
Yeah.
moment when they're like,
Yeah.
client qualifies for graded, you accept.
Hmm.
How does that moment
Yeah,
sound like?
I'll be like, oh well, it sounds like so. So it's here that they're looking like they will give you the coverage, but unfortunately they're gonna make you wait 2 years. And I'm gonna do my best here. I don't want you to have to wait 2 years. You probably don't have to wait 2 years, do you? They're gonna be like, no. I'm gonna try you over at Aetna or Americo, and we're gonna try you again for the so like I tell them, let's try to get you immediate coverage first, and then I will try to find them immediate coverage. If it's really bad, they get denied multiple times. Like, Justin, I've really tried my best here. It sounds to me that you do value having some type of life insurance in place. It sounds here that this is really just the only option left. Is it, we'll see if we'll get you covered there. Does that sound good? And they're like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. By
Um,
that time too, guys, especially if you tried a few carriers, deal fatigue can work in your favor
mhm,
because they'll be like, ugh, yeah, whatever, just give me whatever. And usually if it's like more than one carrier, that they're like two carriers, especially three, and they come back and they decline level, like people usually know that there's something that they didn't tell you. So it's usually like no. I've found that anyway. It's like no
yeah.
surprise that there's something going on there. If
Mhm.
there's three companies that say it. Um, Cool. Lillian said, how long did it take for you to get to where you are? I told like 3 or 4 months. Is that accurate?
Yeah. So like the first month I did like 50K, 80K. Like the first full month, I did it part time. My first part time, I did 20K, like just figuring it out. 2 weeks I went without a sale, but um, and the thing about this is like a dance, I like to say. It's like once you figure out kind of how it is, like it's the same questions, everything kind of just pops up. And once you learn your skill, it's pretty just repeat.
Hmm.
But just don't get discouraged and just keep like trying and um, be accountable. If you're not doing well, you have to fix something. Like you have to learn from someone. You need some type of resource. I just kept telling myself, if I'm not making the money that I want to make, it's my fault. You know.
How do you get your tone? How do you practice your tone? Because I can tell in
Hmm.
your role playing here, your
Yeah.
tone is like on point. And in the agents I coach and listen to, that's the
Hmm.
hardest thing to get someone to
Hmm.
nail is like the tone. Did that come natural or is it something you've practiced and you've had from your
Yeah.
business sense? Like, how'd you get that?
Yeah, kind of. I just like you kind of gotta like people in this business, and then you
Yeah.
have to like develop like some type of trust over the phone. When I was first getting taught, people were like, "Act like you hate your job," and I tried that. I was like, "Oh, this doesn't
I
make
can't.
sense." I was like, "What?" But you have to sell with your personality a little bit, and you just gotta be like really welcoming. The one thing I think about is when I pick up the phone, you want these people. They're really scared, like they're really
Yeah.
tense. You just simply just think about like I want them to sit back in their chair and feel relaxed. Like, it sounds good. Like just be really bubbly and like warm and like bring that guard down. Every question that I ask, everything that you're doing in your presentation, remove that guard to help them make them feel comforted. Um, that's all I focus on.
No, that's huge, and dude, it's so crazy the things you say because it's like I feel like I think similarly on a lot of the things that you say.
Mm,
For tonality, the way I go into it, the way I try to explain having the right tonality is I use a tone to elicit the response that I want out of the client.
hmm
So it's like, guys, think of that. If you get on the phone, like you said, you get on the phone, people are scared. If you want them to want to talk to you, you have to use a tone that's let your guard down tone, a friendly neighbor tone, and a good personality, someone they like that you'd want to that they'd want to talk to. If you want someone to really feel like that need build up, you want to ask them those tough
hmm
questions with a sincere tone that's meant to kind of like engender some sort of like empathy in them or so that I don't know.
Yeah. And you got to I asked myself, if I picked up the phone and if I was on the other line, would I want to buy life insurance from you? And so a lot of
Mhm.
people like are probably like, not right now. Like, if you have like, if you could sell yourself life insurance, like then you mean you're doing good and you feel confident, you know?
100%. Awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, so someone said, can someone realistically sell final expense for the long run, or does everyone eventually burn out? Sometimes it seems many FE sales guys end up building teams. So um, so far for you, Peter. I mean, if you want to answer that, how do you feel now about potential burnout in the business based on your
Yeah.
experience so far?
I think it comes down to like having like everyone has different goals for sure. Um, if you're just doing this for like, money, then I could see that the burnout. I mean, we all want to build some type of wealth in the business, but if you're doing this to truly serve and like actually want to help people, it makes it a lot more fun and you're having fun doing business, then yes, I don't think like with any type of business, you want to build structures and build teams and stuff, which could be beneficial. But, my goal is I think I can make, $500,000 off my own pen selling final expense. And I don't need other people to do it. And once you learn that skill set, it's like, okay, well, like, and a lot of people, I guess, get burned out and they try to pivot to other options, such as like, let's try IULs or let's try term or let's sell. But you're going to experience the same problems no matter what product you're selling. You just got to like pick and run, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the burnout, AJ, comes from perspective of what your business is. So if you're toiling for profits, that's a little different than going into your day looking at like your time as a blessing to someone and trying to give someone a good experience. I've
Mhm.
found that anyway. So between selling and working with agents, I've found if I am trying to just give someone a good experience and make them have a good day and help them with something, it's totally different than I'm just trying to grind out for
Yeah.
some cash.
And I think you need to have like some type of escape. Like if I sat in this chair and I thought I was gonna call final expense for the rest of my life, I'd probably be burned out. But if you told yourself that I'm gonna be the best in this business and I can help teach other people, I can help change other people's lives, or I can help change my family's lives with this vehicle, then you won't burn out because you'll focus on like what you actually need to do. And then when you achieve that goal, maybe you have other strategies you can plan your next 5 moves and go at a different avenue. But if you never master one skill, then you're gonna keep running around and chasing your tail, getting burned out.
Exactly. And actually, Rory Doherty, who owns Senior Life Services, our IMO, he talked to us the other morning, and he's been selling life insurance for 50 years. He's like OG life insurance guy, and he was top salesman for like 25 years straight in Florida. So like
Mm,
he had that experience selling a ton of different products, and actually, AJ he landed on final expense because he said the other ones it was too much maintenance, and I mean take it from a guy who's been selling life insurance for 50 years that now he has a team in an agency, but he did sell for 25 years. And after 25 years of selling life insurance, Medicare supplements, he decided, hey, final expense is the one thing that we're going to land on because it's easiest to teach. It's simple too, AJ. Like, the interest rates aren't changing every 6 months. If you sell annuities, and if you sell Medicare, you don't have it's like Medicare. You're going to have clients. You have 500 Medicare clients. You're going to be taking 3 to 5 phone calls every day of people who go to the doctor and the copay went up 50 cents. So it's all a challenge. So Peter, you never did face to face. Lillian's asked. Great questions, Lillian. Anybody else have any questions? Keep dropping them. This is awesome. This is the whole intent of these lives, is for you guys to get direct answers to your questions. So, did you ever do face to face or straight to telesales?
I only done face to face because I had to. Like, if someone like at first wouldn't give me their bank account information, like I'd be like, all right, well, I'll drive out to your house. I think I've only closed three in person, and now that I'm doing telesales like throughout, that was like the first month. But what I do now is I have client pictures of when I did them face to face. So when people are actually reluctant on like giving my information, I'll send them pictures of myself and like me and Mr. Rodney, or like there's that you actually like that social proof helps kind of bring the guard down is what I now use through my telesales.
What do you mean, you and Mr. Rodney?
Oh, so I have a client of like me and the guy that I helped in person. So when a client's like, I don't feel comfortable giving my information, I'll send them, I'll send them a picture of myself. I'll send them a picture of me and Mr. Rodney, like a guy that I have a selfie in his kitchen with his policy. So like people know that I'm real. So they like think that I'm with them and just kind of use that as angle. But I think you can anybody. There's a lot of people that are doing 50, 80,000, like 50, 60,000 all telesales that I know, and it just shares. Like I think that is, you can build a really sustainable business off telesales.
Yeah, for sure. It's I think it's. I don't want to drive around personally. That's just me. Cool.
Yeah.
You guys, sorry, go ahead.
I see like a lot of people don't even want me in their house. I used to ask people like, "Hey, I'll come over," and people are like, "No, like you can just do it over the phone,"
I had that. That's why I got into telesales, because I had an appointment and it was busy in Miami, traffic, and I was like, man, I'm like, do you even want me coming to your house, or do you want me to just give it to you over the phone? And I said it in a way like, I really don't want to sit in traffic right now, right? Like, I tried to word it where like, and she was like, no, you can just tell me. And then I did, and she's like, and then I went and did the application at her house, because at that time Mutual of Omaha didn't do them over the phone, but okay, well, Luis, what's your process for leads that don't answer? For example, call, text. Like, what's your follow-up game?
Yeah, I'll call them. I call them like 6 times every lead, at least 6 to 9 times a day. When I'm doing a lot of presentations, I don't really have time to call people 9 times a day, but 3 to 6 times I'll call them. If they don't answer, they're going to hear from me tomorrow, and then I'll call my newest leads and always just work my way down. And then if things are slow, I'll randomly go back like 4 days and call them again. And then I have my drip campaigns that are just texting them every like 3, 5, 7, 12 days or so.
Okay, sweet. How many presentations do you shoot for a day?
Yeah, no, like 5 every day. At least 5 presentations. So presentation would be like giving people numbers on like quotes, basically. So at least I hit 5 every day. So that's my metric that I just track.
Sweet. Are there any red flags where you won't present all the way through to someone?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes if people are checked out, I'll just straight up ask them like, is this even important to you? Like if I can hear them like they're like kind of checked, like, you mentioned that you want like something in place, but is this even important? Like, do you even want my help? And if they say yes, I'll keep following up. Like, I don't know, you'll know who's kind of in it and who's not, but I do check them with that.
Cool. Awesome. Louis said awesome info. Thank you.
Got it.
How do you handle one-leggers if it's just the spouse, or if one, because you guys are going to run into this, how do you handle it if it's just the husband, wife, or vice versa?
Yeah, I had that last night, actually. The lady said she's going to come back when she's with her husband. I'll try to like telephone them. It's tough. I truly don't get that a lot, but I'll try to have them do like a 3-way call, or I'll just have to rebook the appointment. So like I had a lady who was calling about her uncle, and I was like, well, when you get your uncle, you call me. Like, it's kind of, I don't really focus on those. Like, I don't get many like where that will pull through. You kind of want the decision maker on the phone.
So like if they tell you they're not the decision maker, will you keep going essentially, or like
I'll learn a little bit of information about them. I'll say like I'll pull up a few options, but I'll just try to set an appointment. I'm like, all right, well, it shows here we got a few options. We'll have to see if like John can get qualified. So what's a good time that John will be home? Okay, I have about a 5-10 minute window there. I'll just call you then. Does that sound good?
Okay.
And like direct appointment, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah. No, that's huge, guys. Because like the thing is too with the one legger stuff, what can happen is like you'll run into situations where um like what like you'll explain it to them, and then the person that you need to talk to can be there or will show up, and then like they're gonna ask all the questions too, and then like if they don't know, then if they may like not trust you, and all of a sudden the family members too can all of a sudden think that they're like experts in final expense
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah, it's just bad spot to be in.
What's your game plan, man? What's your plan like this like over the next few weeks? Like what are you really dialing in on for your success?
Yeah, one time I'm spending more time like trying to help other people. So I'm trying to spend more time with the people that are, I guess, the agents like that I'm working with here. I've already
Awesome.
cracked like 40 some K. So like I'm pretty comfortable. I want to stay more profitable, but I'm trying to figure out a way that I can help more people. So I'm trying to start doing more content now. I want to actually start building a
Love it.
community. So like I'm spending an hour or two, which I never used to do. It literally was all phone, but now shooting videos content is my new phase of like trying to help more people and just be a resource and help serve that way. So that's kind of my next few moves coming up here.
Cool, man. That's kind of like what that's how I got into my channel. It's like, hey,
Hmm.
I want to help more people. I've had people reach out to me to work with me, but I rarely actively recruit through my channel. I'm not like, hey, if you want to work with me,
Hmm.
DM me here. Like I don't really talk about agency much at all unless it relates to lead gen. So
Yeah.
I feel like Peter's a genuine guy, guys. So you can reach out to him for help too, and he's not gonna like try to like corner you into a contract or something. So
Yeah. I don't want you on my I don't want to recruit you. I tell that I like, because everyone I try to talk to want to recruit me. So I made a deal. So if you reach out to me, I'm not recruiting you. Like it's like, if you come here, you work with anyone, like you just, I don't know. I don't want to get in that game. I have enough people trying to
yeah,
come, and it's a lot of work.
dude, it's a lot. I have almost 100 people, and trust me, dealing with all that stuff is
Yeah.
it's more high maintenance than 100 clients.
Yeah.
So she's saying, Lillian, you doing a one call close? Are you setting appointments for the next day, same day? I'm always intentionally trying to one call close, but they say they don't have time or they're busy.
Yeah, I always go for the one call close. If they're busy, I kind of push through. You kind of have that sense, like if they're in the car, you hear the car, then like maybe they are busy. If they're like really pushing back, I will push back because I'm thinking that this is the only time I'm going to sell them. So I just go for it all, the one call close. If they really need to reschedule, then I'll just see like, all right, what time do you get back from work? I have like a 15-minute window. If you want me to call you, if you want me to call you, I can give you a time that works best for my calendar. I'm just really busy. Um, and then I just try to get back at them. But sometimes if you don't get them the first time, you're not going to hear from them again.
Yeah, yeah, I found that a lot of times. Someone else will sell them down the road.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's probably the truth. It's like, but guys, that's the importance of having 20 to 30 leads coming in a day where you can call them right away, or you have that lead volume because, like, even if you were spending more money for leads, you'd still be profitable. And when you have that amount of leads coming in, you're not worried about like following up with an appointment 50 times who didn't answer. So, um,
Yeah.
my personal experience there. What's the biggest objection you run into, Peter, and how do you overcome it?
Um, Maybe already got it taken care of. Like that's my favorite objection is like, I got that taken care of. Perfect. That was the reason for my call. My job with the state is to make sure that agent puts you in the best position. Like that's probably what I get. I don't get many objections come at the end for sure, like banking and social. But if I get those, I just realize that they maybe not a buyer and I didn't do my job extracting their why. But
Okay, yeah.
it's the common objections.
Now, if someone can't tell you their why, will they buy?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I mean you got to like extract, or they'll buy and then not really want it. So, um,
Hey, tell
yeah, you
tell him to
gotta.
wait a few minutes. I want to say hi to him. Is he coming? Phil's coming to pick up food. Oh, wait 10 minutes for me. Wait 15 minutes, dude. I'll be right there. Yeah, 10 minutes. I'm done. 10 minutes. So yeah, it's I found that too. Sorry guys. I'm here. I'm at some friend's house. From back home. I'm traveling.
That's cool.
trying to run off without me.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're saying if it's hard if someone doesn't tell you why they want it, it's hard. It's hard for
Hmm.
someone to
Yeah.
what questions do you ask to get them to tell you that?
Yeah, you have to ask them. I think about it like you ask them questions to make them feel dumb for not buying from you. So, like, Justin, if something were to happen to you today, like, who would be responsible for paying for your funeral? Your children, and would your children be in a position to come with the $10,000 if something happened to you? They're gonna say no. As a mother, do you want to put your children in that position? They're gonna say no. And do you think taking having something in place, would help reduce that burden from your children? Yes. So just having those simple questions that's in your favor, that's gonna be like extracting why do you have any large bills that you're worried about? I'll ask them about. And if they say yes, okay, well, not only will you have to worry about your funeral costs, but will your children, like, who would be most impacted? So extracting that value of like why they need it, it's very common like questions that I ask, same questions. And then I ask them, would you say having just a little something in place is better than having nothing in place? And they're going to say yes. That gives you the okay to downsell them if they don't want to do a 10, 15,
Uh,
20,000.
Love
You
that. Yeah.
told me you told me you wanted to have a little something, right? Yeah, yeah, okay. How about we just start you with the $5,000 plan? I don't know if we can get you qualified, so let's see if we can get you qualified. You can always add to it later. Sound fair? And then they'll jump into it.
Cool, guys. Those questions are gold. So like, if you didn't catch those, watch this recording and write them down because those questions I find with a lot of newer agents or agents in general, if they're not closing, they run into a lot of I got to think about it stuff like that in the close. It comes down to just not asking those why questions a lot of the time because no one gives a crap about how old the company is and their A rating or whatever. It's like, that's not what the stuff that we think is cool. They may not think is cool. So
Yeah.
cool. Any other questions here, guys? We'll drop them in the link here. Peter, anything else you want to share? I figured we'd go for about 45 minutes. We're about 40 minutes in. So anything else you want to share?
Yeah, that's it. I guess the last nugget is I qualify them before I drop in. So, Justin, if I'm able to find you something that's comfortable and affordable that fits your budget, would there be any reason, would there be anything holding you back to see them get you qualified? And if they say yes, you're going to be good to go. So, just just another layer that I ask. It's a scary question that I used to be scared of, but I asked them, if there's anything, if I'm able to find you something that is comfortable and affordable for you, is there anything holding you back to see if we get you qualified here today? And they're going to say no, and then you just go into the pitch.
Awesome. Cool. How do you handle that?
Mhm.
I can't afford it. If people are at the end, they're like, oh, I can't afford anything.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes because I ask the financial inventory, I ask them how much they actually make. So if they really can't afford it, then I don't pitch them really. Like if they're being
Yeah.
honest and like I don't really rather like if someone literally has no money, like it's all right. Like I'll just find someone. But if someone says it's too expensive, I'll be like, okay, well, you mentioned earlier that you want to have a little something in place. I know you might not be able to afford the 15,000, but would you say having just a little something like the 5,000 would that make more sense? So just downsell them as much as I can.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Keep going. And you ask them in the fact finding how much they make.
Yeah. So after I ask them that question, if I can help you find something that's comfortable and affordable, and they say sure, I'm gonna say I work with people on fixed incomes. It's important to me that we find something that's comfortable for you month after month. Let me ask you, like, what would you say your approximate monthly income is? If they
Okay.
say 1,600, I know what to pitch them. If they say 3,200, like it just gives me a metric there.
So if I said 1,600 a month, what would you pitch me on?
Yeah. The
Get me to
next question,
$100.
if they say 1,600, I'm like the next question is, are you looking to do a formal burial? Or are you gonna kind of go the cremation route? And then if I'm going cremation, it's like anywhere from 5 to 7 is where I'll start. The 5,000 just be a little something. The
Yeah.
7,000 would cover the cremation, and the 10,000 is kind of like the max value there.
Yeah.
And then for burials, like 7, 10, 15, or 20 is kind of what I do.
Cool. What'd you say your
Yeah,
average premium per deal is?
I'd say like 780, $800.
Perfect. That's exactly.
Yeah,
That's like what it should be, for that. Based on what I've seen of the deals that like stick. And means you're selling the right product. Because guys, if people had a ton of money, they wouldn't be requesting information to pay for the funeral.
yeah, yeah.
So at least I think that's my logic anyway.
I agree.
Hey, love you too, AJ, bro style. Trust me, I get it. Cool, appreciate that. And Jim, love your consistency selling micro commitments. I'll have to look into that. Lillian, Luis, appreciate all you guys for everything here today. Peter, thanks, man. I know that this is valuable time to you. I'm 100% confident you're going to make $500,000 selling life insurance a year, 100% over the phone. And I'm privileged to have met you and talked with you. And guys, I met Peter on YouTube Live. So I met him from YouTube Live. He reached out to me. We connected, and it's been really cool seeing your posts on Instagram. Adam on Instagram, Peter Roberts. Check out his YouTube channel, Peter Roberts. He's got some really cool videos, and you'll see Peter has a total other different business side of him that he did before this. So it's really inspirational, man. And obviously, if you need anything from me, reach out. I know you're pretty well taken care of over there, but if you have any questions, I'm an open book for you too. Okay?
Yeah,
if you ever get into recruiting and building, I got you.
All right, so yeah, I appreciate everything, man. It's thanks for just bringing the value out to those people. It's fun to see.
Yeah, man. All right, I will see you guys. See everybody.